Real news. True, honest, and not fake news. We are back finally, and we are going to talk about...
Trump shutdown?
Yes. That is the first...
Hashtag.
Yeah, that's the first big thing that's been happening is the government shutdown. The government was shut down last night at midnight, exactly. After basically... if anybody doesn't understand, there was a spending bill that had to be passed. There were 51 Republican seats, but they need 60 votes. But this is all Donald Trump's fault, apparently. Yeah. And Trump tweeted a wonderful tweet saying, "This is the 1-year anniversary of my presidency, and the Democrats wanted to give me a nice present. Hashtag Democrat shutdown." So.
Yeah, wonderful. I saw a CNN poll that actually, yeah, I know, right? Fake news CNN, but even fake news CNN had to. Their poll demonstrated that I think it was like 21% of people blame the shutdown on Trump, and like 26% blame it on Congress. Right, the poll, so 26% blame Congress and 31 blame Dems. 31%. So the largest block of people who blame somebody blame Democrats for this shutdown. So like, you know, despite the totally not, you know, pushed hashtag, totally not like manufactured hashtag Trump shutdown. Yeah. The Dems are still the ones who are going to take the brunt of the displeasure about this. But like first of all, the government shutting down is like, that means like I think the national parks are closed. I'm not even sure that they are. Like, yeah.
I actually I saw something though where the Democrats said that if we don't give them like amnesty for immigrants, for illegal immigrants, that they're going to keep fighting for military to not be paid starting Friday.
Yeah, it's a military spending thing. That's the big thing. Yeah, I think some parks are shut down. I forget because this happened a few years ago.
Yeah, with Trump. Well, I remember last time with Obama, I did not see what you're talking about, but last time with Obama, like he had to write like an executive order changing something. Like the parks around D.C., I think there was some park that wasn't even going to be closed according to like, you know, the circumstances of the shutdown, and he just like wanted to make people notice the shutdown basically. So, yeah. So he like added that on there. But I don't military funding. I mean, I feel like that's
no. I mean, like they're gonna like stop paying the people who are working for the military, not just military funding. And like the people who posted it were friends of mine who are overseas right now, so that they were told that their paychecks are gonna stop on Friday.
Oh, more votes for Trump from the military.
If the shutdown stays.
Yeah, I think it's pretty stupid. I think they're trying to stick it to Trump and be like, oh, this is your anniversary and we're going to shut the government down and make you look bad. But in actuality, it makes the Democrats look bad.
I mean, yeah, like what is it? Because it's very clear that this shutdown is over immigration. Yeah. It is over DACA. It is over, like bringing illegal immigration, which is even among blue states. Like the bluest states, it is wildly unpopular. Like the current, like what the Democratic Party's platform for immigration is unpopular even among Democrats. Yeah, it's like I don't even know if they have a majority of Democrats who support like how far left they want to make the immigration law in this country.
Yeah, it's too far left. What do you think, Alex?
Well, I think it's actually a good thing that we're doing this. I think that it'll make us take a whole long look at what current programs are really necessary. Yeah. And, it kind of sucks for the troops, but I think in the long run, there's a lot of these programs that we have that we really don't need, we really can't afford. Well, just out of curiosity, is welfare checks going to be cut during this shutdown?
No. Oh, of course not. We can't let our voters not get their money, us Democrats. Yeah, they're not going to let that happen, unfortunately.
Because it seems like all these programs that are being cut, with the exception of the military and that sort of stuff, these tend to be very Democratic programs.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's pretty bad. Any final thoughts on this before we move on?
Well, I think that this is going to. I've heard that it could clear up by Monday.
Yeah,
like it's weather or something.
By Monday, we'll have a government shutdown be lifted.
Yeah. It's already blowing up in the Dems' faces. The American people are. What is it? Several Democrats actually voted for the last thing that didn't pass.
Four of them, yeah.
Yeah, four Democrats.
Oh, yeah. It's not bipartisan as they say it is.
Well, I mean, 4 Democrats, but like Democrats voted for the bill that the Democratic Party doesn't want. It is shutting down. So, despite the fact that it didn't pass, like the spending bill didn't pass, that's an indication that these Democrats and all of the Democrats that voted for it are up for re-election. They're in like states that Trump won. And so, the whole blue wave, like, oh, this midterm is going to be, crazy for the Dems, like that.
No
this
way.
Is an indication that at least the senators, those 4 senators, do not believe that. Because why else would they do? Why would they? Like they're hedging their bets right now. They knew it wasn't going to pass. They knew the rest of their party was going to shut down the government. But they get to go home to their voters and say, "Hey, look, I tried." I tried. I didn't try and sell you out because the American, even like Wisconsin and Michigan,
which vote for Trump,
states that go blue most of the time, but went for Trump.
Yep.
For this immigration issue, for things like DACA to be ended, and like not even the fact that these Democratic politicians know that they can't give in on this, that they can't go along with the Democratic Party line on this, is an indication that I think we're going to see more like red, more Trump.
I agree.
I think the Trump wave is coming this midterms, not the blue wave.
Yep. I don't see, because the problem they're in a situation where a lot of the odds are against. I mean, Trump is president. The Republicans have control of all 3 branches, and they're doing stuff. To put it bluntly, the economy is getting better, and that's what people feel. And when they feel, you see the GDP and the stock market thing, it's like it's either steady or dropping. Then Trump comes in, pew, goes way up. People are feeling it. They're realizing the jobs are starting to slowly come back. Immigration slowly starting to go along. He ended DACA, and he's going to start building the wall soon. He's actually going to visit the border soon. It's going to be hard for Democrats to run against Trump because the only thing they have. Not run against Trump. Run against any Republican is anti-Trump rhetoric. That's the only thing they have, and it doesn't sell well. What sells is, what have you done? When they have done nothing except shut down the government. I mean, it's not looking good for them.
Yeah, no, this blue wave that they keep trying to meme into reality is not happening.
And the left can't meme, so good luck.
Well, yeah.
I also I see on Facebook like 50 times a day of like the Democrats on my Facebook saying like, oh, Trump's only been president a year and the government's already shut down. And it's like under every single modern president except Bush, the government has shut down.
Yeah. But with Trump, it's unprecedented.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. I know, it's silly. Because people are in the echo chambers and they don't see the whole world and all of it. But the other thing that's happening today, because today is obviously, of course, the anniversary of Donald J. Trump being sworn in as the God Emperor of the United States of America, is the Women's March. And Vince and I went to a Women's March at Penn State.
The Women March. I don't know if you saw their sign. They did not have an
apostrophe.
Did
they spell it wrong?
Well, they didn't spell it wrong. They just didn't put an apostrophe S on like the
they spelled
Women's
the whole
March.
Brand wrong.
Yeah,
How dare they?
It was Center County, PA.
I have the picture.
Women March.
Yeah.
It did not say Women's March. It said Women March.
Wow.
That's grammatically
sad.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like it. It's
Central PA Women March. That's literally what it says.
And it's not like a handmade sign. Like they
printed that crap.
Like that is like a quality.
Yeah. They didn't
they spend money on that.
Spell check.
Or at least Planned Parenthood. Yeah, you're right. Spell check is a tool of white supremacy.
I thought George Soros paid for that sign. Like his like what he's getting for his money has not been good recently.
I think Planned Parenthood paid for it because like Planned. Yeah, the woman organizing is like that Planned Parenthood, Christine something. The fat one.
Oh, is that the one that was speaking at the end?
Yeah.
Oh God, we have something of what she said.
Oh my gosh, what a nutcase. But
what'd she say?
The Noah comment.
Yeah. No, that wasn't her.
That wasn't the fat one.
Was it?
I think it was.
No. That was
might be
guy.
multiple fat ones.
Oh, good point.
We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Was it biblical Noah, or is this like Trevor?
Yeah. Noah? No. It was biblical Noah. We'll get to it in a second.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
So, but a lot of these, like the Defend DACA thing from a couple months ago, was actually pretty early in the year. That's all done by the Planned Parenthood Generation Action Club at Penn State. And it's funds from Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
Which are funds from the federal government.
Yeah.
So the federal government is literally just doing activism for the the federal government is providing funds for Planned Parenthood to effectively just do activism on behalf of the Democratic Party.
And your tax dollars are going to that.
Yeah.
Your money is going to something you don't agree with.
Like, even if you are pro-choice, defund Planned Parenthood.
Yes. But yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, we had like about, I'd say 100, 150 people. They started at Allen Street gates. You know, they marched through a few feet to the municipal building. They had to close the street down, made it inconvenient for everybody else.
That is
How considerate.
Women Block Street.
Women Block Street.
Yeah, no.
Make it a headline, which we did for the State Patriot. Go check out statepatriot.com.
It's not up yet, but
it's not up yet. It will be soon.
You can check out other articles.
Yeah, check out all the other articles out. We're teasing new ones.
Yeah.
But you know, because I interviewed a few people, and the consistent answer I got was they said they were fighting for women's rights. Which rights?
No, apparently women's rights. So this is my theory on the whole spiel. There's a phrase that I think is very important that they kept saying, and it is women's rights are human rights. Right. Women's rights are human rights. And what does that mean? Does it mean women are human? Well, I mean, I guess I suppose you could, and probably they're expecting you to interpret it as such. But I have a theory on what it actually means.
Ooh.
I think that the implicit association, because what they were talking about is, I heard a lot of people talking about the environment, talking about DACA, illegal immigration, no, people aren't illegal, police brutality, Black Lives Matter,
yeah.
Like all of these Democrat pet issues. I heard a lot of talk about that. And then I hear the term, you could consider these things human rights, whatever. And then I hear the term women's rights are human rights. Women's issues are human issues. What is this association? I think what they're saying is women are Democrats. The ones who, are like they're pushing for women politicians, etc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a big thing.
I think what they're saying is women are more inclined to vote for / create policies if they're in public office to uphold these principles that they're like sort of basically to go along with the Democratic Party. I think that is the what they're saying here, right? Like women's march. Why else would the women's march be full of rhetoric about illegal immigration and Black Lives Matter and the environment? Like what do any of those things have to do with women?
I can sum that up in 2 words: identity politics.
Well, no, I think that
I know what you're saying. It's a bit more.
It's kind of there are plenty of wonderful right-wing women in this country, and it's kind of insulting to them, like to the association that they're making there. It's like women. If you're a woman, then you have to care about it. Then you have to be pro open borders and pro environmental issues and
pro abortion. Pro Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, pro Black Lives Matter. Like all of these things that that don't actually have anything explicitly to do with women, but are being associated as such. But like this is the thing. What they're getting at is not actually entirely inaccurate to an extent, right? Because what did you see there? Well, there's a lot of middle-aged, women.
Older women,
with, I'm very much guessing, no husbands, no children of their own.
Single mothers.
Yeah, they're not single mothers. They're cat ladies.
Yeah.
Basically. No, I'm serious. There was a distinct smell of cat lady.
I could smell the kitty litter when I was walking by them.
these are middle-aged women going through midlife crises, other female things.
Boomers.
Happens in midlife. Maybe they're getting hot flashes, and what they don't have a family. They don't have anyone around them, and so they're caught up by the rhetoric of the Democratic Party,
and they want to belong in
something. It makes them feel like they belong to something. Make like all those poor little inner city kids that just don't have enough opportunities, despite the fact that they get more funding than rural students. Let's throw that aside. Those are their children now. Like all those little DACA recipients, all those children, the 35-year-old children. They are their children now. Those are the people that they take care of because they didn't have any. All they have are cats at home. And
cats are people too.
Right.
You claim cats on your tax returns?
Yes. Genius.
Cat is a dependent. But anyway, you see what I'm saying? Like this is their appeal. This is why it's a women's march. And they didn't even talk about like the wage gap. They didn't talk about.
I was shocked about that.
They didn't even bother actually going for like the nonsensical women's issues. They just went straight into like Democratic Party talking points. And I think that is why, is because it is very, very it's. People those middle-aged women who have had no families, they're very receptive to that.
I agree. I'll let you talk in a second, Alex. There's one last thing I want to say. Yeah, I totally agree with that. That was a great observation because I noticed that too. They, as much as they were about women, the only thing that what time I heard women was for women politicians and more women to do things and stuff, basically. Like, oh, women got to do everything now.
Wasn't anything about their rights or
no, it really wasn't.
Like I mean,
and they weren't even wearing the good old, I think I can say the word on the radio, but I'll say the pink meow meow hats.
A few of them were.
Well, yeah, there were some, but there was much lower than usual because now it's transphobic. If you don't know, if you don't know, in this current year,
gosh,
yes, because
sometimes like I don't even can you not?
Because you can identify as a woman and not have a meow meow.
Have to parody themselves.
I know, it's hilarious.
They're just
hilarious.
Like at a certain point, you got to leave some,
room for us to do it.
Yeah, I know, right? Like you can't even. What's that? There's a. Crap. There's some like law where like I don't know. Somebody said this law. It was like the left is impossible to parody because at some point
they'll parody themselves.
They will whatever you say like sarcastically they'll actually do.
Yes.
Like
true.
Stop women from wearing their P-word hats because they're transphobic because why would you assume that you have to have a vagina to be a woman?
Exactly. Yeah, why would you assume?
Like just because not all women have vaginas. Like,
hashtag not all women.
Yeah.
Alex, what do you have to say of all this?
All right, well, see, my idea of where this all comes from is from third wave feminism. It tells women that they can do anything they want, and it's telling, especially the American, especially if you're like Caucasian, that you can't have kids because there's 1 billion kids from there's a word that Trump would use to describe these countries, third world basically.
Well, you know what I would say?
They tell them, you can't have kids because, there's 20 starving African people who contribute less to global warming. And now they don't have kids. They engage in these behaviors when they're young. They go out
What is up with your phone?
They don't go and settle down with a man. They might go and end up experimenting with their bedroom ideas, especially when they're in college. And then they end up, becoming 40 years old. They might be working like a good job, but they don't have anything to show for it. They don't have anyone to go and cook dinner for.
Alex.
And biologically, that hurts them. That's why I see a lot of mental illness, especially among, like women in their 30s who don't have a husband or, even like the other ones. That's why in college right now, you see all these women. And they see on their Facebook, Jenny, she just had her first kid, and they might say, this is terrible, but in the back of their mind,
you got it.
That could be me. I could be having a kid right now. I won't be wasting all this money.
Are you on speakerphone?
Maybe, we should go to church. That might be a good thing.
Alex, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, your phone is making all the noises are happening right now from your phone. For some reason, it's making me laugh to tears, and maybe it's because Mikey's laughing to tears. But Vince had something to say to that.
Okay, so all of what you said is a correct assessment, except for I would say it's not third wave feminism; it's second wave feminism that is the what has caused this right now. Because what we're seeing right now is that there were actually very few young people at that march. There was a lot of there were some kids. There were some like small children that were
the
brought
parents
by
dragged
their parents.
their kids to this thing.
But it was most like the average age of people there was probably 40, 45. Like there was a lot of older people, middle-aged and older women especially, that were there alone. It's the effect from the the 70s when they told women, no, you don't need a family, go into the workforce, focus on your career, a family can come later. And then, well, oh shoot, it's later now, and you're 40
late.
and you're unattractive and you have you work 60 hours a week and your apartment smells like cat litter. Like how are you gonna find a man? You can't. It's second wave feminism, not third wave feminism, that did this.
Well, do you think we can fight this by doing a cat tax?
A cat tax?
Yes. I mean, I know Mikey is going to have his cat. He's not going to be for that.
The ability for people to claim cats as their dependents.
Yes. Yes. Hashtag cat for all. We're going to have free cats. It's a human right.
Economics.
And we already talked about the Women's March, which I want to add one last thing to because I forgot to mention all the excitement. Two things. Trump.
We didn't talk about,
we're gonna talk about Noah. I never forgot about Noah. Noah's special. But the one thing I wanted to mention quickly was Trump's tweet. I have to read because it's so wonderful. Trump said, "Beautiful weather all over our great country. A perfect day for all women to march." And he put women and march in capitals. And then he said, "Get out there now to celebrate the historic milestones and unprecedented accomplishments of economic success and wealth creation that have taken place over the past 12 months. Lowest female unemployment in 16 years!" Exclamation mark. He trolled them. I love it. I love it. Anyway, we also have a story of an interesting little statement made by one of the speakers today at Penn State's Women's March.
So it was I think it was a representative. It was like, I don't know, it was the guy with the weird, like, unnaturally gray hair.
Yeah, that guy had the weirdest hair.
Like
he was the mayor.
I don't know what. That was not Don Hahn. No, Don Hahn's Asian. He was the first guy who spoke. Well, I mean, his last name's Hahn. Anyway, So this guy gets up there and he's like, he just starts. He's like, those people with their book that a lot of religions buy into this book. Like, there's two. It's Islam and Christianity. Like, or not Islam. Judaism and Christianity. The Old Testament, like, he's referring to, like, the story of Noah and the flood, and he's like, so he didn't even mention this yet. He just starts it off with a lot of religions, believe this and buy into this. And you know what I like? I think that if you really believe that in that book, then you ought to know that Noah was brown, and Noah. That means Noah was every color. This is what he's saying. Noah was brown, which means Noah was every color, because the pigment in his skin was the same as the pigment in white people and black people and yellow people and red people. And he's going off on this. People are like, what is this guy? Like, even like the people there are confused as to what he's saying about this. I have no idea what he's referring to.
That was staggering.
Like,
we was Noah.
Yeah, we was Noah.
We was Noah. Crab.
Yeah. Okay.
Crab.
It's an absolutely. It just demonstrates the hatred for traditional American Christian identity that the left has. They'll just manipulate and twist absolutely anything from like whatever nonsensical, interpretation they can come up with into being, an insult, a subversion, or somehow a moral condemnation. But what does that even? What does that?
What does it mean? I don't know.
Noah was brown, therefore he was every color. Like what? Like
I am white, therefore I'm all colors.
And I don't think you are. I think the point was that he has melanin in his skin, and therefore he could have more melanin or less melanin. But if you don't have melanin, then you can't get melanin. I don't know what the implication.
Noah was transracial.
If Noah were white, how does that change anything?
Yeah, he's still the same dude.
I don't understand.
I know. Yeah, as an atheist that does not believe in anything in that Bible in terms of the stories and stuff like Noah's story, I think it's far-fetched, but I was still triggered by this and thought it was silly and ridiculous, and it made no sense, even as an atheist.
It's not, it doesn't have to be a condemnation. It's not a condemnation of religion. It's a condemnation of American,
traditionalism.
It's American traditional values, which are informed by religion by Christianity explicitly in many circumstances. So it doesn't. You don't have to be. You could be a staunch atheist if you believe in American traditional values as independent of themselves. Then you can recognize what Democrats, when they're doing stuff like this, they are actively trying to do everything in their power to subvert those traditional values. Because they're inconvenient to them. When you adopt those traditional values, then you're self-sufficient. You don't have to rely on voting for more welfare. And they want you. They want you to be a lonely cat lady. They want you to be a dependent welfare consumer. They want you. Well, that's what
I know.
At the end of the day, they want you to be either emotionally or financially or both dependent on them, because that gives them power. This is what the Democratic Party wants, and that's how they get it. They have to subvert any value, any aspect of your identity as an American that would functionally allow you to be independent of the government or their welfare, whether it be emotional in the case of cat ladies or financial in the case of ghettos.
You forgot about cat men.
Sorry.
How dare you?
Cat non-binary.
Cat person.
Cat people.
Yeah. Do you have any thought that we was Noah stuff, Alex, before we switch topics?
Well, yes. You mentioned the atheism. And let me see if this sounding any better.
A little bit. You're a little quieter now.
Okay. Well, anyways, my question about that whole thing, or my concern, you said that the Bible you don't believe anything in there, but there's actually evidence that there was a great flood.
Okay.
Multiple different religions.
Okay. I'm about to stop you right there. Let's say there's a great flood. Noah had time to build this boat, and he had time to run all over the earth, get one of every animal, a male and a female. He was pretty sexist at that time. He only believed in two genders. And he grabbed one of each and went everywhere, grabbed all the little bugs, all the little cicadas, all the little birds, all the little, things in the water. Well, no, he didn't have to get things in the water, but it doesn't matter. He had to get all these little bugs. He had to get all these land animals. He had to get all of them. There's millions of species, and even in that time, there were millions more. And he puts it all on this one boat that he built well enough they could hold them and support their weight. Nothing broke. Nobody was, and it survived this massive flood. I call BS, even though, okay, there could have been a massive flood, but sorry, that's my atheist rant. I apologize. No, I don't. I'm sorry. But it's...
Okay, all right.
That was off topic, but I'm telling you...
We're fine.
This
does not have to...
This story is ridiculous, but what this person did made it more ridiculous. Okay, I'll let you fish. Sorry.
What if it was an allegory? What if he actually built a spaceship?
Oh my god.
Next topic.
Like ancient aliens.
Ancient aliens.
Aliens.
Well, yeah, but what if Noah was a demigod and he was actually descended from an alien species?
Oh, is it Keck?
Instead of getting an actual, one of every species, he got the genetic information and
you're just delegitimizing this. We're not all crazy.
You built a ship.
I'm not crazy. Please. Don't.
Anyway,
the things I say.
Beautiful little subtopic there, Alex. Thank you. I'm sorry, we're gonna have to move on for time's sake. And I'm gonna let Vince talk a lot in this section because he attended a march for life.
Oh yeah, wait.
I would like
wait,
to tell
that
us
happened? I didn't see any articles about it. There was no news coverage. There were no reporters. There was no helicopter views, no drone. Like CNN.
Wall-to-wall CNN coverage of how this is a big movement.
Oh my gosh, yeah, like the 400 people that actually went to there actually wasn't nearly that many people in Washington. There was easily 500,000 people, probably significantly more than that for the March for Life.
Wow.
But I saw pictures, the images of the people gathered around a stage. Somebody tweeted out, I saw on Twitter today, already bigger than your inauguration attendance.
Oh
there was
my God.
There was at most 3,000 people in that picture.
Yeah.
No.
And DC's a liberal gets city.
Oh, absolutely. But yes, I was down there for the March for Life in Washington. Beautiful weather, beautiful day. We started at the mall. Oh crap, I forget what it's called. Anyway, we walked around
Lincoln
to the
Memorial?
Supreme Court. The Lincoln Memorial. Thank you. Wow, I can. We started the Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah, the giant statue of Lincoln doesn't give the name.
Yeah, it's a giant statue of Lincoln.
Yeah, he's a white man.
What? What'd you say, Alex?
I'm surprised that the left hasn't been.
No, it wasn't the Lincoln Memorial. Wait, hold on. It's not the Lincoln Memorial. It was the Washington Monument.
Oh, it was the Washington Monument.
Yeah,
the Bill Clinton's monument.
The mall. Yeah, the Bill Clinton monument.
God, it'd be him with Monica Lewinsky.
It's just a giant phallic object. Anyway, it's like a mile and a half or so. We walked up to the steps of the Supreme Court. Like I said, easily 500,000, probably approaching 1 million people were there. The entire thing, we got pictures. There'll be an article up soon on the State Patriot about that. We have some good pictures as well. They're just a sea of people flooding the very wide streets of Washington, in demonstration on the around the anniversary of Roe v. Wade which was, if you're not aware, the Supreme Court case which said that states or the federal government could not make abortion illegal.
Yeah.
And that it basically set the precedent that all existing abortion law was no longer covered by a clause in the Constitution, I think.
Yeah, it's really weird.
14th Amendment. I want to say the 13th.
13th is the one that gave women the right to vote, right? Or was that freed slaves?
That's 19th. Yeah, 13th is it was one of the the Civil War ones. It's 13th or 14th, and there's a clause in there about what defines personhood and it had always been interpreted previously that that includes an unborn child, and the Roe v. Wade basically said that it doesn't. So effectively, a baby, even if it is viable outside the womb, is no longer covered to the right to life under the Constitution.
Yeah.
Because of Roe v. Wade, like I said. So Donald Trump addressed it via satellite. That was the first time any sitting president has addressed the March for Life in its 44 years.
Yeah.
Since Roe v. Wade. So that was Mike Pence went there last year attended
Sparky.
and Sparky attended the March for Life. It was Paul Ryan this year. Ugh.
Oh God,
Paul Ryan.
So boring.
He's just he looks
like an ice cream
I love the people that are suggesting he's gonna run for president.
He could. I don't know if he could
Jill
be worse
Stein
than Jeb.
would beat him.
Jared Johnson could beat him.
Anyway, I don't know if you're right. I don't know if he would be worse than Jeb, but that's not.
It's up for debate. You guys decide.
I don't think bars subterranean. Anyway, it was, like I said, wonderful march. Oh, and yeah, the media does not cover it, never covers it. Like, I didn't even know what happens. Like, you know, almost 1 million people go to Washington every year and, you know, like advocate for something. And there's marches all over the country as well. Like they're in Chicago and, you know, other major cities. They have their own March for Life. Yeah. And it's just ignored because the mainstream media is completely... they don't want to. They know it's a popular issue. This is like a life. A large percentage of the people in this country are pro-life. A majority, I believe, are at least pro-life or you know, and some combination anti Planned Parenthood, like I was mentioning before, and you know the government services for it. And so they know that anytime events like this get coverage and you know people get their message out there, that's going to be votes in the pocket of the Republicans. So even if the media doesn't care one way or the other, they care about you know who their interests are aligned with, and that is they're in bed with you know we saw with Donna Brazile and you know the DNC in bed with CNN. Like, the big media is in bed with the Democrats, and they know that you know if they give airtime to events like the March for Life, that is just going to hurt the Democrats, and so they just don't get it. They don't acknowledge it. They don't even bother trying to naysay them or detract from them by covering them poorly because they can't do that. So they just basically no platform. The March for Life, despite you know like I said, millions of people going down there. That you get. You know, you get like you said, wall-to-wall coverage, 24-hour coverage of the women's march.
It's I checked their homepage; it's always on there the whole day.
Today, of course, from CNN. But I bet you got nothing at all yesterday from March for Life. Not one thing.
Interestingly, though,
probably 100 times more people. 100 times more people went to that March for Life than went in Washington yesterday than went to the Women's March today.
Well, what's interesting is
which one gets covered.
It started trending on Twitter, the hashtag March for Life, and Jack must have been, I don't know, he must have slept in an extra bit today because it was number 3 trending on Twitter, that hashtag, for the longest time, and slowly just magically disappeared. But what's interesting also is like, you make a great point. You say they don't show these crowd sizes. It's like when Trump would always say at his rallies, the media never shows the crowds, show the crowds. And he'd force them to show the crowds because if they didn't, they would say, whoa, Mr. Trump, you said show the crowds and we did. So we did what we said we did, you know. But what's interesting is because that's a strong persuasion right there, to quote Scott Adams on this because he was talking about this. I mean, popularity, you know, it's pretty basic observation, but if something is people tend to think it's the correct right opinion, and that's persuasive because you associate popularity with you know right or wrongness. And if they show that this March for Life is popular and there's lots of people, they're going to think, well, maybe I should be on the side of the popular side.
No, they want to make, you know, the media's job is to make you the American, the patriotic American who wants to see your values, you know, and your own existence as a you know human being with dignity and agency and the ability to function, to see that in reality, like to let your government allow you to live your life the way that you want to, and to make sure that you have the communities that you want to live in without you know policies disrupting those, and you know be able to you know practice your religion, probably Christianity, etc. You, that person, the media exists to make you feel alone, like you don't have anyone else that agrees with you, like you don't have a party that supports you. That you don't have anyone in Washington representing, you know, your interests, that nobody thinks the way that you do, and they don't care about the same things that you do. That's what the media exists to do. They exist to isolate and alienate people with traditional American values,
which are opinions too.
Yeah, no, and they are. That's the thing. That's why they're trying
kicker.
to do. Like they wouldn't have to if it weren't true.
Yeah.
Like if it weren't not. Yeah.
If
not
they weren't
true.
popular.
Yeah, they are popular. There are so many other Americans, patriotic Americans that want the same things you do, and it's it's because of people like the media that and the big moneyed interests that want to make sure you don't get your way. You don't have the chance to do that because it's not in their interest.
Yep.
But yeah, the media. They lie. They tell you that it's fake news.
You are fake news.
The lying press. They are showing you only what is advantageous for them to show you.
Yep. Any thoughts on this, Alex?
I'm trying to think of something else. I can understand why the media is doing this because they're going to go and say, oh, well, no one cares about these life issues. They don't care about saving people's lives. They're going to make it out that the Women's March is much more momentous because in some ways it is. These people probably don't walk around for weeks at a time except to clean out the litter box. So obviously, from me marching, that takes a lot of physical energy in terms of calories.
Yeah.
Just to move their large mass.
It's like that meme. It was like in 8 years, Michelle Obama couldn't do what Trump did in one day, which is get people to lose weight by coming out to the Women's March.
Get people off the couch and.
It's so true.
That's probably the only time they're going to be walking. That's great that Trump is, energizing women to lose weight.
Yes.
To go outside. He's doing more for these women than Pokemon Go did.
Yes, he's doing more in Pokemon Go. That was a message of the day.
Yeah.
You have anything else to add, Mikey?
No, you guys pretty much covered it. Well, way back when you first started the conversation, how we mentioned the Trump inauguration, how many people were there I was there, and there were way more than
those pictures.
Oh yeah, me too.
Because they took that photo early.
Yeah,
that's what they don't tell you. If you look at the CNN one that shows, it had this really cool. CNN did something cool for once. We could actually zoom in.
I can find myself. On it. It's really
cool. They had such a high resolution picture. You could find yourself, and then you noticed. I mean, the angle's still a little bad. The crowd was bigger. It kept going way further back. But no, we don't want to take another picture of the aerial view showing the entire crowd. No, we can't do that. But anyway, any last few things before we go into two quick little last topics?
My favorite meme from that was like Obama inauguration, Trump inauguration, close up of a carpet. Static on a TV. It was really funny.
Oh
yeah, it's great. The memes.
I guess have all these illegal immigrants thing too. Don't take that into consideration. Hundreds of thousands travel to go and see him support the person who's going to keep them in their place.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's where the theories come up that they. The Hillary's going I won the popular vote. Well, some people think some of those votes were illegal immigrants voting. I mean, I don't know, but it's possible. Two things we got here, and I'm going to kind of combine them together. We're basically going to do a quick little, on these final 5 minutes, a year in review of Trump's first year. And the two things I want to cover very quickly, kind of going into that, are the two scandals he's kind of had. And Scott Adams has said this repeatedly, and I think it's very true. The anti-Trumpers, never-Trumpers are going through 3 phases of delusion. Phase 1 was he's literally Hitler. Well, once he started not doing Hitler-y things, that fade quickly away. He then started rounding up Muslims and putting them in concentration camps in Kansas. So not Hitler. He's not doing a good job at that. So he's not Hitler. So what's their next phase? Their next phase, which there's also the Russia phase, which has been sort of overlapping this whole thing. And that's pretty much...
Greatest witch hunt.
The greatest witch hunt in political history ever. That has been going on still, but that's even started to die out after his first year because there's nothing really coming up, and Mueller's probably going to drag this out for a bit more, but we'll see how that goes. But the second phase after the literally Hitler is he's mentally incompetent. And you notice they started saying that very recently. They're running out of ammo. They're like, oh my God, these tweets are crazy. He's mentally unfit. He's an unstable president. And then Trump brilliantly did that meeting on immigration where he opened the doors and they all saw that he was controlling the room, acting like an adult, probably the biggest adult in that room, and was doing a great job. But then he does a second major thing where he had his the Obama-appointed doctor do a health exam of him. And not only did the doctor say he had perfect, excellent health, Trump actually said, I want to do a competency test. And the doctor's like, no, you don't have to do it. He's like, no, I want to do one. And he gave him a harder test than normal, scored a perfect score of 30 out of 30. So that narrative's kind of collapsing. And then their final phase is going to be, Trump's pretty effective, but we don't like it. And you're starting to feel that already. There's been even articles that literally say effective, we don't like it. And so that's the phase we're going to be going through. But CNN, of course, they have their own little unique phase that they went through. They started after the health report. What was their focus of the health report? That Trump is overweight. Oh my God. And they were literally fat shaming him on live television. Like great feminists they are. They were fat shaming Trump, which I thought was hilarious. But I'm going to go through a quick rundown of the main things he's done, because some of these things we've already forgotten. He's done quite a lot that you've probably already forgotten it. So I'm going to go through quickly, then I'm have you guys react, and we'll close the show after that. Number 1, immigration. Illegal boarding crossings down 70%. Wall is being built. The prototypes are up, and we're probably going to see construction in this in 2018 if the Republicans finally get a freaking budget passed for the wall. And, of course, if Democrats do this budget with the government shutdown, they would get enough votes. The economy is doing great under Trump. Millions of new jobs created. GDP is up 3%. Unemployment is at record lows. Stock market, record highs. I think like 16,000 points it's gone up. Big time. Regulations have been cut dramatically. He promised 2 for 1. It's actually 22 regulations for every one that's been cut. Neil Gorsuch was appointed to the Supreme Court. Big win for conservatives. Even never-Trumpers will say, but Neil Gorsuch. Yeah, so we got a conservative on the bench, and we'll probably be putting another one in sooner than you think. The Supreme Court approves a travel ban led through, so it's not unconstitutional, and it's not racist. ISIS is on the run big time. Their territory shrunk dramatically. They're practically non-existent. We dropped some nice, beautiful mother of all bombs on them, killing lots of them. Trump approved many big pipelines. The Keystone Dakota pipeline, very big. That'll create jobs and make us more energy independent. He pulled out TPP, which was a terrible trade deal. Pulled out the Paris Accord, which is a waste of money, where we basically gave other countries money and they didn't have to do any climate change commitments. He banned government officials from lobbying, where they had worked for a 5-year period. So starting to drain the swamp. I wish he'd do a little more of that, but that's a good start. He's making NASA great again, authorizing a mission to Mars. I like that. I would prefer private sector doing it, but I think NASA's still a wonderful thing that our government does, and I hope they do it well. Fixing the VA. He's implemented a lot of new technologies, had more accountability in the VA, which is fixing that up and lowering wait times. He privatized air traffic control, which will make libertarians very happy, hear that word privatized. And he, unlike any other president, has been donating his salary every single quarter to a government group. He donated one to the parks, one to the vets, and I forget what the other 2 went to, but he's been donating his salary, which has been a great thing to do. Of course, he's got plenty of money, so why would he take a salary? So I give him a very high marks. I give him probably an A. I would wish he'd do a little more in immigration, and I wish he'd do a little more draining of the swamp. I understand why he's been held back on some of those things. I wish he'd do a little better, but I think it's been a solid job. What do you guys think?
I say I'll give him a B. Yeah, all the stuff he listed is all great. He's been at times better than I expected. At times, I was hoping for a little bit more.
Yeah.
I do believe that there is more he can do to get that wall underway.
Yes.
And I do believe that there's more he can do. For ICE, I think ICE needs more agents, and I think they need more resources. And I think that it's not really Trump that I have a problem with.
It's Congress.
Well, it's Congress. Absolutely, it's Congress.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I have my problems with Congress. But it's also it's the AG. Like Jeff Sessions, I'm very disappointed in him.
I am too.
Minus for so far. I don't know what the heck is going on. He needs to step up his game. He needs to be cracking down. Like, what the heck happened to affirmative action? They were going to go after affirmative action on behalf of the Asians.
The Clinton stuff
I don't care,
too.
as long as affirmative action's gone. They were going to go after what happened with this voter?
The Voter Fraud Commission.
Voter Fraud Commission. I understand it's still going. It's it's not gone away, and they're finding things, and it's it sounds promising, but like. I mean, how long can it possibly take? They have so much evidence. Like, was it like
the Veritas videos alone?
There were counties where they had like 120% of like the registered like people voting. Like what? How can you have 20% more than the registered population? There were that many more votes. Like it's obviously fraud going on.
And the dead magically keep voting Democrat.
Yeah, and that's right. Yeah. And all let's. We're going to pretend like the illegal immigrants are voting for Trump, and they acknowledge that. Like, I know one of the commissions, they said there is rampant fraud, and there are people who are not legally citizens registered to vote. Yeah, they found this. Like, I don't know what's going on. Come on, Jeff Sessions.
Yeah,
fix this stuff like that. Those are the kinds of things I'm having a problem with. I understand that like Trump can't do like all of these things, and I thought Jeff Sessions was going to be a good pick.
I thought so too. It's shocking.
I'm a little bit upset about that though.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it reflects poorly on Trump, but I understand that it's not entirely his fault. Other than that, he's pretty good. I understand. The swamp is fighting back quite hard.
Very.
Yeah. I definitely think Trump did a really good job. Like, I give him probably like an 8 to an 8.5 out of 10. So it's like a B plus.
You would have to use a number scale.
I like most of the things he did. There's some things that he did that I didn't like, and I agree with Vince too. Jeff Sessions, I think he's
going after pot now. That's his big thing, pot.
I don't like him at all.
He's going to go after pot. Like all the things he said he would go after, he hasn't. So why would we leave him now?
Yeah, I think we need to get rid of him.
Yeah. I don't know who is better though.
I don't
need somebody tougher.
Get like, I don't know.
Does Alex want to speak?
I feel like Steve
before we.
Yeah, we're gonna get Alex in because we only have a few minutes. But the one thing I'll mention is that was controversial even among us was the Syria strike, which some people hated. I was fine with it, even though principally it was wrong. The World War III didn't happen, and we're all fine. And hopefully things have worked out. But Alex, I'll let you speak. Give the last word.
I'd probably get between a B+ and A-. My concern would have to be the stuff with Jeff Sessions. I'm not very fond of that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even so much against the whole pot thing, but I feel like they need, Congress needs to do something about that and reschedule it, make a law or something. But they haven't done their job, as we can see right now. Another thing that I have is that Trump, he like all this talk about trading DACA for the wall. I don't want DACA. He needs to be more hard on immigration. That's going to kill the Republican Party, but he hasn't done anything yet. So I'm going to withhold a little bit of that, but some of that rhetoric, I just think that's going to hurt his base. That's going to hurt him in 2020. And the Syrian strike I wasn't too fond of, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. I do wish we could get out of the Middle East.
Yeah, I agree.
We haven't really done anything to get us out of there. Although I am happy with some of the stuff with Saudi Arabia and Rocket Man.
Yeah. I mean, I understand your stance on DACA. The one thing I would say is that, to be honest, he's got to trade. He's not going to get everything he wants on immigration. He's already ended DACA, which is the key thing. The only thing, he's probably going to have to trade off to get everything else. Because the Republicans are so annoying, they won't get on his side on anything to get a wall done or anything. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But thank you for listening. We'll be back next week with more Rio News.